Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This week is not light and is not symbolic just for the sake of symbolism. This is a threefold, a real one. The sky this week is not asking us to visualize or manifest. It's asking us to take responsibility emotionally, mentally, and practically. The year doesn't really begin on January 1st. It begins when we stop lying to ourselves and take responsibility for the things that we say we want and the changes that we want to make and realize in 2026. So, this is weekly astrological climate from Tuesday, December 3rd to Saturday, January the 3rd. Okay, I welcome you all and thank you all for subscribe and share. And we are going to talk about this week, this astrological week, and how we can improve ourselves and everything that the 2026 is inviting us to do, to rethink, to achieve, to conquer. Okay, so Tuesday, December 3rd, Mercury in Sagittarius squares Saturn in Pisces. This aspect can feel really heavy, but is really necessary also. Okay, Mercury in Sagittarius wants big ideas, big truths, strong beliefs, but Saturn in Pisces asks a very uncomfortable question for all of us. Is what you are saying emotionally sustainable? Or is it a story you tell yourself to avoid responsibility? So take something in your mind, like Sagittarius is an optimistic sign, is connected to the beliefs, our philosophy of life, our desires in terms of our mind. Okay, but Saturn is the reality as it is, like things like they really are, is practical and is also a planet that confront us with the things that are only in our minds and the things that are really happening right now, here and right now. So it's a moment where these two planets are going to be in kind of a fight. Mercury wants to go to the mind, and being in the thoughts and the beliefs, okay, and this optimism, sometimes radical optimism is kind of avoiding reality. So Saturn here is asking me, is what you are saying emotionally sustainable, or is it a story that you are telling to yourself to avoid the responsibility here and now? You may feel mental fatigue, doubt, or sense a blockage. Something you were excited about may suddenly feel less convincing. So, hear yourself, okay? This is not a punishment, it's reality checking our fantasies, okay? This aspect exposes promises made without structure, decisions driven by enthusiasm but lacking grounding, and emotionally avoidance disguised as fate. Okay, so this is a moment to speak less, observe more, and allow what has now real foundation to fall away on its own. Okay, Thursday, January 1st, 2026. Okay, we are here like entering in this new year, and remember that 2026 is the year of the Fast and the Furious, because we are going into a year one is the creation, and also is we are entering in this stage of fire and air, astrologically and energetically speaking. So everything is going to be like taking speed and form. Okay, that's why I call it Fast and the Furious. Okay, be prepared for that. Mercury enters in Capricorn January the 1st. This is where the year truly begins mentally in your mind. Okay, Mercury in Capricorn shifts the tone completely. The mind becomes strategic, realistic, and focused on what actually works. Remember that the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn, so Mercury here is now thinking about the things that are tangible for us now, the reality as it is, okay? This transit is not about what you wish could happen, it's about what you can build and sustain. Remember this word for your 2026: sustain. What you can sustain, okay, with consistency over time. Communications become more sober, more intentional. Decisions become heavier but also clearer, okay? Mercury in Capricorn asks, what are you willing to commit to? And what are you ready to structure? Okay? Integrating this energy means turning ideas into actions, simplifying choices, closing open loops, and activating your inner adult. Okay, this is a moment where we need to grow. Okay, clarity doesn't come from emotional overload, it comes from conscious decision making. Remember this: conscious decision making. This is not fantasies, this is not radical optimism, this is not like, I don't know, being in your faith only, is conscious decision making. Okay, Saturday, January the 3rd, we have the full moon in Cancer. Okay, so we are like entering this 2026, and right now we are having the first full moon and in the sign of Cancer. Our identity of belonging, our emotional world, our need to feel protective. Okay, and this is the emotional peak of the week. The Cancer full moon brings up a deep emotional needs: safety, belonging, care, and memory. With Jupiter conjuncting the moon, everything is amplified. Remember that Jupiter amplifies everything, okay? Uh, if it's good or if it's bad, because Jupiter amplifies everything that he touches, okay? You feel more, you remember more, and you need more, okay? Opposite this, we have the Sun, Mars, and Venus in Capricorn. Remember that full moons always are the moon in opposition to the Sun, but here the moon is with Jupiter. Everything that I need, that I feel, is so intense and so amplified, and the Sun, okay, our primary identity, is showing Venus and Mars. Okay, so here is kind of a mixed up in between your desire, the things that you want to achieve, enjoying life, love, I don't know, peace, these words that are so Venusian, but is also with Mars here, our passion, our force, our warrior inside, like going in looking for the experience. So here, okay, the reality and the responsibility, commitments that can't be postponed. This full moon creates tension between what you feel and what you must do, between emotional needs and the structures you are living inside. This is not about dramatic endings, it's about recognizing imbalance. Take that in your mind, okay? Have that phrase in your mind. This is not about dramatic endings, okay? It's about recognizing imbalance. Where are you being strong but emotionally neglected? Where are you hiding in emotion instead of building something that is real? This full moon asks for a new emotional maturity. Again, Saturn in Pisces in his last minute there. Remember that Saturn is going out of Pisces and is going into Aries, and this is like is profounding, but is showing us what is going to be our next 30 years about. Okay, so this is not a minor moment. Okay, so this full moon asks for a new emotional maturity, one that doesn't sacrifice your heart but also doesn't avoid growth. Okay, so Mercury in Capricorn, as I said, the theme of the week. All week long, Mercury in Capricorn sets the tone. This is about mental responsibility, about coherence between what you do, what you think, what you say. Okay? It's time to stop improvising your life. Have a plan, have a strategy. Stop improvising everything and every day. Okay, have a plan. A structure is not limitation, a structure is supporting you. When the mind is organized, intuition becomes clear, not weaker. Okay? When you have your day, your week, your month organized, you can think clearly, you can see clearly, and you can analyze your results also, okay, your outcomes clearly. So being organized is not making you weaker, is making you stronger. Okay, reflection questions for this week. As you move through these days, ask yourself, what decisions am I still postponing? What do I need more structure? Where do I need more structure instead of more explanations? What emotional needs am I ignoring in order to meet external demands? And what needs to change so growth doesn't come at the cost of my inner safety? Work with that questions this week, okay? This week doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for honesty. Remember that we have the South Lunar Node in Virgo, and this is talking about get rid of this seek of perfection. Okay, it's better that you move and you do and you take step by step, and things will be growing and being better in the terms of that you are moving on forward things. Okay, so this week doesn't ask you for perfection, it asks for honesty. Be honest with yourself, think clearly, feel responsibility, act with coherence. Okay, that's how the year truly begins for every one of us. And thank you all for being here, and I see you in my next video.